Let's review order of operations. Now, order of operations tells us if we do addition first, subtraction first, division, or multiplication when we are working with an expression. And let's define this as the order we need to perform, and I'm going to keep it short here, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and we also include exponents and such. So I'm going to put etc. Now, many people help themselves to memorize the order of operations by using BEDMAS. And if you can memorize BEDMAS, then it'll tell you the order with which you need to perform the operations. So the B stands for brackets, and if you go and look at resources online, in some other countries, these are called parentheses. So you'll actually see that their short form is Pedmas instead of BEDMAS. E is for exponents. D is for division. M is for multiplication. A is for addition. And S is for subtraction. Now, when we're talking about division and multiplication, we want to do whichever comes first as you're going from left to right through your expression. And it's the same for addition and subtraction. So once you've taken care of multiplication and division and you get to addition and subtraction, you want to do whichever comes first as you go from left to right. So same as above. Let's work through some examples. So in our examples, we're going to be evaluating, which means we're going to get a final number answer. So our first one, we have -8 plus 6 divided by 2. So we want to go through BEDMAS, and that means that we're going to be doing 6 divided by 2 first, because division needs to be done before addition. So my next line is going to be -8 plus 3, because 6 divided by 2 gives us 3. And now we're left with just subtraction, and -8 plus 3 gives us -5. Our next one, we have 10 plus -5 times 2. So notice here that I'm using brackets to show multiplication, and this is something that we start doing sometimes in grade 8, but definitely once we hit grade 9. And it's so that we stop using the x for multiplication, because we're going to start using x for something else once we get into some algebra. So let's do our next line here. We have addition and multiplication. Well, we follow BEDMAS, multiplication comes first. So our next line is 10 plus, and we have -5 times 2, so that's going to give us -10. And 10 plus -10 is going to give us 0. Let's do some more examples. So 5 minus negative 7 plus 3 squared. And we can't see BEDMAS anymore, but now's the time to memorize it. In our expression here, we have subtraction, we have addition, and we have exponents. So if we follow BEDMAS, exponents come first. And 3 to the power of 2 is 9. And now we have subtraction and addition, and we're moving from left to right. So we're going to do the subtraction before the addition. And remember, when we have two negative signs beside each other, we can then treat that as a positive or as a plus, as an addition. So 5 plus 7 gives us 12. So we have 12 plus 9, and that gives us 21. Let's do another one. So here we have 3 times 5 minus 1 divided by 2. So we need to deal with the brackets first. Now, in this case, in our brackets, we actually have an operation happening. We have subtraction. So we have to do that subtraction in the brackets before we can do anything else. So 5 minus 1 is going to give us 4. And then we have multiplication and division left, and we want to go from left to right, so we're going to do multiplication first, which gives us 12, and we do our division last, and our final answer is 6. And let's just put a little reminder at the bottom of 3 and 4 that we always want to go from left to right, even if that means doing addition before subtraction, or multiplication before division. Okay, we will do 2 more examples. So here we have 7 minus 8 in brackets times 2 to the power of 2. So we have brackets and we have exponents and we have multiplication. So we need to do brackets first. So that's 7 minus negative 8. Sorry, not that. 7 minus 8, which gives us negative 1 times 2 to the power of 2. And then we need to do our exponents. So 2 to the power of 2 is going to give us 4. Then we have negative 1 times 4, which gives us negative 4. And let's do our last example here. And I think I will need more space because it's a long one. So negative 5 squared minus 4. And now I'm going to use some square brackets because I'm going to have multiple brackets or levels of brackets happening. And in our square brackets, we have 6 divided by rounded bracket 2 minus 3, close rounded bracket, close square bracket, and then plus 1. So we still need to follow BEDMAS, and we need to work with the brackets first, but we need to start by working with the innermost bracket. So we have to do that 2 minus 3 before we can do anything else in those square brackets. So 2 minus 3 is going to give us negative 1. And now I can go and work in the square brackets. So 6 divided by negative 1 is going to give us negative 6, and that is being multiplied by that 4, or negative 4. So we've dealt with our brackets, and now we have an exponent to deal with. So negative 5 squared, that's negative 5 times negative 5. So a negative times a negative gives us a positive. So negative 5 squared is positive 25. And then we have a minus or a negative 4 times negative 6. And actually, let's do that. Let's do one more line. Let's not do too much at once. Many of you will get to the point where you can do multiple operations in one line and still be following BEDMAS, but let's hold off on that. So we have multiplication, addition, and subtraction happening. We need to do that multiplication, and we have minus 4 times negative 6. So we need to account for the signs there because the sign in front of a number goes with that number. And so a negative times a negative is going to give us a positive. So we're going to have 25 plus 24 and then plus 1. So we are left with addition, and we can add all these together at once and get 50 as our final answer.